All right, today we're diving into a really cool technique for establishing facts so firmly there's just no way to deny them. It all comes down to the power of asking the right question in exactly the right way. Let's jump in.
I mean, think about it. In any kind of disagreement, from a simple argument to a huge lawsuit, the first problem is always the same, right? Just getting everybody to agree on the basic facts. So, how do you cut through all that noise and just get a simple yes or no when you really need one?
And when you're in a legal dispute, this challenge becomes absolutely critical. The entire foundation of any case is built on a clear, agreed upon set of facts. But that's usually the hardest part because, each side has its own version of events. So, how does the legal system handle this? Well, it has this one particular tool that our source material calls by far the most powerful discovery tool there is. It's called a request for admissions, and it's designed to do one thing and do it brilliantly: get to the truth. So, what the heck is it? It's pretty simple, actually. It's a formal, written statement of fact. You send it over to the other party, and they are legally required to respond. They either have to admit that the fact is true or they have to deny it. It's a really simple, direct challenge. The best way to think about this is to picture something we've all seen in the movies, right? The leading question. You know, when a lawyer asks, "You were at the scene of the crime, weren't you?" They're not actually asking for a story. They're stating a fact and demanding a yes or no. A request for admissions does the exact same thing, just on paper. And our source really doesn't mince words here. It's not just a tool. It's considered the most powerful tool for getting at the truth. So why is that? Because it forces a direct response. It completely corners the other party and makes them take a firm position. But here's the catch. All that power really depends on how you use it. One simple mistake can make it totally useless. And to understand this, we've got to look at what I'm calling the parakeet puzzler. It's a perfect example from our source material. Okay, so imagine you're in a car accident. You send this request to the other driver. On the surface, it seems pretty solid, doesn't it? I mean, it covers the main points, but this request is actually deeply flawed, and it gives the other person a huge, easy way out. So take a close look. Why do you think this request fails? Where's the escape hatch? The problem is that it bundles way too many different facts into one single statement. And this right here is the crucial point. The other driver can deny the entire statement just because of one tiny part. Maybe they're willing to admit they were driving and that they hit your car, but they can honestly say, "I have no idea about a parakeet." And because that one little part is unknown to them, they don't have to admit to any of the rest. The whole request just fails. So, how do you fix it? Well, the secret is simple, and it is incredibly effective. Just remember this rule: one fact, one sentence. By breaking the request down like this, you build a much stronger, almost inescapable case. Look at this. Instead of one big, complicated sentence, now we have four simple, clean statements. The other driver is forced to address each fact one by one. They can admit to the first three, that they were driving, that a collision happened, and that your car was damaged, even if they deny having any knowledge about the parakeet in step 4. And just like that, you've successfully locked in three crucial facts. And that gets us to the real power of getting that admission. Once a fact is admitted, it has major consequences. It's no longer just a claim, it becomes an established truth for the rest of the case. The key point is this: once they admit something, the record is locked. That fact is now considered proven. It can't be debated later, it can't be argued about, it's just taken off the table. This lets you focus all your energy on the facts that are actually still in dispute. What's really powerful here is that the other party has very few options. They can't just object or ignore it. They have to do one of three things: admit it, deny it, or claim they don't have enough information. And that third option isn't an easy way out either. They have to prove they made a real effort, what the law calls reasonable diligence, to find the answer. So, the main takeaway from all this is pretty clear. The key to unlocking the truth is precision and simplicity. By focusing on one single fact in one single sentence, you create a request that has undeniable power. You force clarity, and you build your case, one locked-in fact at a time. Of course, this all brings up one final, really important question. This tool is designed to get at the truth, but what happens if the other side just denies a fact that you know is true? What if they lie? Well, according to our source, that's when you can use your other tools to prove it, turning their lie into a powerful weapon for your own case. And that leaves us with something to think about.